Tailbone pain is also called coccydynia, and it typically causes pain when you're sitting down. So how can you relieve tailbone pain when you need to sit down during the course of the day, as most of us do? Hi, I'm Michelle, and today I'm guiding you through 4 physiotherapy ways to help you sit if you need to sit during the course of the day if you're suffering from tailbone pain. Now, if you've been advised not to sit, then follow that advice. But if you do need to sit, these tips can help you. It's really important to try to avoid sitting if you can, because if you look at the tailbone, it's this little bone here at the back. So our weight is taken when we sit through these 2 sitting bones, those bones you can feel in your bottom when you sit, but also too through the tailbone like this. So that is why when you sit, that little bone is being pressed forward, so that needs to actually rest and not be moved to recover. But if you're constantly sitting or not sitting well, this is why tailbone pain can occur when you're sitting. So what do you need to do to fix it? All right, there's a number of things that you can do. The first thing I want to talk about using is an angled wedge, and I will give you an alternative to this that doesn't cost anything. But an angled wedge, as you can see up here, is a wedge that actually helps to take pressure off the tailbone. So the back of the wedge looks like this. You can see this hole here. And I like to get a wedge that actually has the hole close to the back, where it's going to be against the back of the chair, and a larger hole. You'll see some of these with really narrow openings. They're not going to be as useful. You need a larger opening here so that there's no weight on the coccyx when you sit. Now, it's really also important to avoid using a rubber ring. A rubber ring will actually increase pressure in and around the tailbone. So avoid using a rubber ring to sit, because that's really not going to help with tailbone pain. Now, the second thing you do if you can't access a wedge is to use 2 rolled up towels that you can see here in the image. Now, you can use the towels, use the same size towels if you can, rolling them up and placing them along underneath the thigh. And so either thigh, so that your bottom is actually lifted off the chair. Now, you're better off using a firmer chair than a soft chair. If you use a soft chair with a wedge, or a soft chair with the towels, or even with some long foam offcuts, angled foam offcuts, your bottom's going to sink down. So you want to use a firmer chair, not a really hard chair, but a firmer chair that will give you some support if you are suffering from tailbone pain. Now, the next thing I want to mention is the importance of leaning forward when you're sitting. So as you saw before with the pelvis, when you sit backwards, so if you're leaning backwards like that, then that increases the load on the tailbone. If you actually lean forward like that, you can see how the tailbone will lift. And this is why leaning forward is more comfortable. So in that long position, you're going to lean yourself forward so that your tailbone isn't in contact with the chair. Now, this is where a rolled up towel can be helpful. If you place a towel roll in the curve of your lower back, a lot in combination with the wedge, that can give you some support too for your back, because your back can get very tired when you're sitting and leaning forward for a long period of time during the course of the day. Now, the final thing I want to mention is the importance of lengthening your spine. If you slump forward, so if you sit with rounded shoulders, again in a soft chair, say a soft lounge chair at night time, then that is going to aggravate the discomfort. You're much better off again sitting in your firm chair, but lengthening your spine, because as soon as you lengthen your spine and lift tall, that coccyx is going to move. And again, this is where that towel roll in the lower back can be really helpful as well. Now, if you're looking for tailbone exercises, I have a video linked above that you might find helpful too. And also too, I'll mention the importance of not doing Kegel exercises with tailbone pain unless this has been recommended to you. Kegel exercises will actually pull the tailbone forward with each exercise, and they will aggravate tailbone pain. Very finally, you can also use 2 other home remedies. You can cold pack over the area, so you can lie down in your tummy. You can apply a cold pack over the lower back and the bottom to 20 minutes at a time to give you relief if you have been sitting. And you can also talk to your pharmacist about using anti-inflammatory gel, and that would be used a small amount, so like a pea-sized amount, 4 times a day, in and around that area where the coccyx is, which is that cleft between your buttocks, just in there, and that's where you'd massage that for 4 times a day and apply that, especially when you're going to sleep at night. That's a really good time to apply the gel. So you can see there are a number of things you can do to help you sit with tailbone pain. We've talked about using the wedge. We've also talked about using the towel rolls. We've talked about lengthening your spine, not slumping, and also using a rolled up towel in your lower back to help you maintain that inward curve and keep the pressure off the tailbone when you sit. So I really hope this information helps you feel more comfortable with your tailbone and heal quickly. If you found the information helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you can give the video a like below, because then this encourages YouTube to share this information with other viewers too. So I'd like to thank you very much for watching today. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Goodbye for now.